Hey Melevators, and welcome back to Melevate. I'm Cher, and today we are going to jump right in it with this Monique thing. She said we can't wear our bonnets at the airport. I want to hear what she has to say, as well as my reaction to how I feel about this video. So let's jump right into it.
Hey, my sweet babies. So,
she seems really nice.
It took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment, and I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love.
It's from love.
Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of auntie.
Yes, auntie.
And I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get them in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our
you
young
going around
sisters
tapping people
in hair bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves?
Lose pride? Now, I'm all for, Black power. I'm here. My channel's called Elevate, duh. But I don't know, to say we've lost pride, that's really strong. I don't know if I would say that Black women have lost pride because they're wearing a bonnet to the airport. Like, we can't equate something as deep as pride and Black pride as wearing a bonnet. Like, kind of, she had me, kind of. I was kind of had, and then she said, like, oh, we've lost pride. Like, come on.
When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair?
Oh, could you please comb your hair? Okay, I'm natural. Been natural for a few years. So I'm not like queen of natural, but I've been natural for a while. I have 4C hair. I, for a fact, when I was younger, let's just start there. When I was younger, my mom used to go to the airport. She made it a big deal. Like, we used to like get real dressed up, look real fly, and I understand it. It's Black culture. We gotta come correct at the airport. But as I got older and I started taking care of my own hair, I am like not, it really depends on how long the flight is. When I flew from JFK to Trinidad, that's like a 5.5-hour flight. Okay, my hair can be kind of out a little bit, potentially that's not a long flight. But when I went from JFK to the Philippines, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, Monique. I was one of those girls. I wasn't wearing a bonnet per se, I guess, if this makes it any better. But I had like a, what are those things? It's not like the slippery satin scarf, but it was like a, I'm gonna put the name right here because I can't remember the name, but it was a scarf that I wore and I like tied it up kind of like, in a nice little style. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I was about to be on a flight for like 15, 16 hours. I mean, having my hair out in its natural state, even if it's in twist outs or whatever, you're putting your head on the nasty ass back of the airplane seat. I don't know about y'all, but when my hair gets like confronted, if that's the word for it, but when my hair is pressed together, it takes on that shape. So if I did a twist out or my afro or any of those type of hairstyles, the second I leaned back on that chair and like got back up, it was going to be a big ass dent in the back of my head. So I knew, let me just put my hair in some little twist and put the scarf on my head because this is going to be a long flight. And when I got to the airport in the Philippines, I went into the bathroom and then I combed out my hair, had it looking popping, had it looking good. But on my flight, like, I mean, maybe because she's a celebrity, but like nobody's checking for me. Like there's no paparazzi, nothing's really, happening for me. So like I'm not there to really impress anybody. I'm just trying to get on my flight and be comfortable. So that's kind of like me on that one. We can keep watching though.
And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on and you got slippers on and you looking like what the fuck, Nikki gonna tap you.
First of all, don't go around tapping nobody. Monique, nobody needs you to tap nobody. You probably have a personal trainer. You see, you've been losing your little weight. You got a personal trainer. You got a stylist. You have people who's gonna take care of your hair every single time you step out. So you can't really relate. You can't really say like, oh, like every time you step out, you have to look good. I'm not saying that about this whole thing about pride. Yes, of course, have pride in yourself, but that also comes up to the person. Like for me, pride in myself is, going outside with an ironed shirt. I hate ironing, but I like iron my shirt or something like that, or put on whatever type of like decent clothing. But there are many times I go to Walmart in sweatpants, or it depends on where you're going. I think all of these things are hypotheticals, and we can't just be out here policing Black women on what they should be looking at in public. Like, even if I come to the airport, Monique, in a bonnet, without a bonnet, it really doesn't matter. I'm still gonna be pressed on this judgment of how I should have looked. Okay, there's always a catch-22 when it comes to Black women. We wear makeup. Why are you wearing so much makeup? We don't wear makeup. Why aren't you wearing makeup? We are natural. Why are you natural? Why are your head so nappy-headed? We texturize our hair. Oh, so you don't love yourself? There is never a win when it comes to Black women. So maybe her version of pride is like coming with her hair done and nails done, everything did, coming to the airport. That's you, but that might not be for everybody. And I personally don't judge people who don't do that. I've seen people at the airport wear the pajamas and the bonnet and stuff like that. Black and white people, I've seen do it. And for some reason, it never crossed my mind to really take that time out of my day to notice it and to judge it. Maybe because I was trying to catch my flight. Maybe because I had something else important to think about. So I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, this person's wearing a bonnet. Let me tap her, or like let me notice her. Like, no, because I know she's probably about to be on a 5-6 hour flight, and this is early in the morning, and sis just wants to do it. I don't know what her life was the night before. Maybe she worked a double, and now she's hopping on this flight. I don't know. So it's not up to me to just be like, Monique, I'm just gonna tap you. Monique, if you ever tap me in the airport, I'm tapping you back. Like, do not tap me in the airport. If I'm wearing a bonnet, if I'm not wearing a bonnet, like, let me do me. I'm good. I have pride in myself. I'm confident enough in myself, whether I'm wearing a bonnet or not, outside. So I don't need you to tap me. I don't really know what that means, but I don't need a tap. I think I'm good.
and say, hey, baby girl, show you what you worth.
I know what I'm worth. I know what I deserve. And why does her phone keep going off? She needs to put it on silent.
See celebrities putting out there saying, hey, queen, hey, queen, hey, queen. Well, can we start putting it into action?
Okay, talking about the hey queen thing. I talked about that in my first video. See, everything is just looping back for me. I talked about the whole like black queen, and I talked about that in my first video and the pressures of that. I don't like when people say hey queen to me. I personally don't even, it's just like, okay. I just feel like okay about it. Like, I feel like she's holding black women to a standard, which is okay. But I feel like you don't know everyone's personal life to be kind of making these kind of statements out here. I don't know. I'm curious on what the comments say.
I'm asking our wiser sisters. When we see our little babies out there looking like they just don't care.
Oh no, I'm gonna let her finish because I feel as though she was about to correct herself. Like, I'm gonna let her finish.
Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than what you're showing?
We're not out here tapping kids or tapping parents. I get it. When I was younger, my mom had the time and the money to take care of my hair, and I'm grateful for that, and I appreciate that. But there were also other kids that used to come to my school without their hair done. They didn't have the latest barrettes, or they didn't have, we used to call them bobos, or bubbles. They didn't have the latest barrettes or bobos or any of those type of stuff. Does that mean that their parents are bad parents or don't care about them? Maybe when I was younger, I probably thought like, ew, look at you, your hair ain't done. But I'm older now, and I feel like if I see a child without their hair done and they come to an event or something like that, I'm not gonna tap anybody because I don't know the financial situation of that child's family. I recently spoke to someone while I was doing my project. She had, I'm not gonna say her name because it's not even important, but she had like 8 other siblings. So do I think her mom has time to be getting everyone's hair done and make sure everyone look good? And probably not. And we can go back and blame the mother for, oh, why'd you have so many kids? Or why'd you do that? We can do that. Or we can once again mind our business. We can mind our business because we don't know what's going on with that family, right? So we can mind our business. And I love minding my business and drinking my water.
Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, how you gonna be treated?
Helping our community? Monique, why don't you help our community by saying something uplifting to more uplifting to black women? Maybe like love yourself, or, you know, help it. Like in all of this that she just said, not once did she say she was gonna be helping the woman by maybe giving her like, hey, like I noticed that, you know, if you have such a big problem with black women wearing bonnets and stuff like this to the airport, why don't you maybe start a funding, I don't know, a cause or reach out to your community? Why don't you do that? That's really helping the community if beauty standards like this mean so much to you. Not tapping somebody at the airport and telling them about themselves. I don't see how that's helpful, but okay.
So, when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in queen training. So if you're in queen training, stop being fearful of taking your position. And queens don't walk around with bonnets and headscarves and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you, baby, like you are worthy and you deserve the title of Hey Queen. Nikki love y'all for real. And I ain't never gonna BS you. Stop wearing them damn bonnets and headscarves looking like don't nobody give a damn about you, nor do you give a damn about yourself. Because you beautiful.
That was the only positive thing that I got from that, was her telling me that I'm beautiful. I think that hold on, now I got a text message. I think that her message was there. I think I understand what she's saying. Like, I know I was a little harsh on Monique, but I understand what she's trying to say. I know for a fact, like I said, when I was younger, my mom would not probably have me come outside in a bonnet, especially to the airport or to the grocery store, none of those things like that. I wasn't out here coming outside in a bonnet or pajamas or any of those things. Pajamas is something I'm kind of weird about. I wouldn't go outside in pajama pants. I haven't done that one yet. Or the slippers, like the little house slippers. I see people walking around the airports with that. I'm not there with that one. Especially if you're gonna put that back inside your house. Like, why would you wear that outside? But when it comes to the bonnets and stuff like that, I feel like there's a fine line. You know, I think if you're, quickly hopping into the car to do something or something quick, maybe a bonnet's okay. To a professional site, of course, maybe I probably won't wear a bonnet, or, maybe to an important event. I don't know. I feel like there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to the bonnet, like where and when it can be worn. I think it really depends on the situation. It depends on the person's confidence. But to say that, you can't get the queen title, as though we're aiming for that, like you can't get the queen title unless you look presentable, that's kind of like where I sort of disagree, because everyone has their different version of it presentable, and it's not me to tell anybody else what presentable means to them. So, and I'm not going around calling anybody a queen. I don't do that. I never come up to my friends and be like, hey queen. Like, I don't even do that. So you're not gonna be getting a queen title from me, whether or not you have a bonnet on or not. So I don't know, Monique, I see your point here. I kind of get it, but part of me also doesn't, because I think that's also a very old way of thinking. And there's also like more important issues going on right now than a black woman wearing a bonnet at the airport. Like, there's more things happening to black women than us wearing bonnets. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the commentary are agreeing. Some people are disagreeing and saying, like, basically, it's subject to change. I agree with this person. Appearance is personal and subject to change. I agree with that. I definitely get Monique's point, but also think there's more important issues in the world. That's just how I feel about it. Thank you, Monique, for telling us this. I think this is just another one of those like weird jabs at black women. Not really a jab, because it wasn't like she wasn't trying to be rude, but it was just one of those like, why is black women and their beauty and how they look always have to be a conversation? Like, I'm kind of like really tired of it. At first it was like, black women, you need to not, straighten your hair, don't go outside with nappy head. And now it's just like it's always something. There's like always something when it comes to black women and how they should look. So that's kind of where I feel like, yeah, she made some points. Like, of course, go outside, look presentable, whatever that means to you. And look your best, put your best foot forward. I definitely understand that. In a perfect world, we all would be doing that, right? We probably wouldn't have homeless people if we could all put our best foot forward. But also on the other end, it's like, there's bigger issues, and I feel like the black community constantly finds themselves fighting about things that are like not important right now. Like, we're getting shot at. Roe versus Wade could potentially be overturned. We don't know what's going on with that. Look what's going on with, Gaza and Israel. Like, there's so many important things to be going on right now, Monique, that I don't think we needed you to say this right now. This is definitely something that if you wanted to bring up, could have been a tweet. Could have been a short tweet or something like that. Maybe a little loving tweet with a little gif or something like that. But did you need to make a 5-minute video telling us to not wear bonnets at an airport? Yeah, I don't really think I cared for it. But thank you. I haven't seen Monique in a while, so this is really good. Besides like her like losing the weight and looking gorgeous, haven't seen that in a while. So thanks, Monique. But I think if I want to wear a bonnet at the airport, I probably will. Just don't tap me.